Hello students, today we will be learning a rather interesting concept, that is angles and time. I'm sure you're familiar with the parts of a clock. We have what is known as the clock face. This is the circular part of the clock, and you can see that on the circular part of the clock we have some numbers which are written here. Not always will there be numerals written on the clock. Sometimes there could be Roman numerals as well. And the clock face is not always circular. It could be square or rectangular too. Now on the clock face, we have the hands of the clock. Now we have the smaller hand, which is the hour hand, and we have the longer one, which is known as the minute hand. We also have the seconds hand, which I have not shown here because today we are going to deal with angles and time. So just so that you don't get confused, I have avoided showing the seconds hand on the face of this clock. Now if we look at the face of the clock, we can see that the face of the clock is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part denotes 1 minute on the clock. So between two numbers we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. To understand this better, let us look at this figure. Now between 12 to 1 there are 5 minutes. Between 1 and 2 there are another 5 minutes. Between 2 and 3 there are another 5 minutes. So we can see that this clock face is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part denotes 1 minute each. Did you know that the hands of the clock make angles between them? Here's a clock face, and we have the hour hand at 3 and the minutes hand at 12. Do you remember what kind of angle this is? Yes, this is a right angle. What about this one? When the hour hand is at 3 and the minutes hand is at 2. This looks like a rather small angle. Do you remember what we said about small angles? Yes, this is an acute angle. And what about this one? When the hour hand as well as the minutes hand is at 3. Is there any angle formed between the hands of the clock? No. In this case, there is no angle formed between the hands of the clock. So in this position, we can say that it is 0 degrees. Let's look at this one. When the hour hand is at 3 and the minutes hand is at 7. This looks like a rather big angle, doesn't it? So what kind of angle is this? Yes, absolutely correct. This is an obtuse angle. And this one? I'm sure you remember this one. This is a straight angle. And what is the measure of a straight angle? Correct. It is 180 degrees. How about this one? When the hour hand is at 3 and the minutes hand is at 11. Is it a big angle? A small angle? Okay, it is an obtuse angle. Well done. Let us look at some instances when the hands of the clock make right angles. We have here the hour hand at 3 and the minutes hand at 6. So here we've got a right angle and the time is 3:30. So we've got a right angle at 3:30. What about this one? Is this a right angle too? Yes, it is. And what's the time? Look at the hour hand. It is at 6 and the minutes hand is at 3. So the time is 6:15. So we have a right angle at 6:15 too. What about this one? Is this a right angle too? The hour hand is at 2 and the minutes hand is at 11. Now, there's a very rather simple way to remember when the hands of the clock make a right angle. Count the number of minutes between these two hands. So let's begin with the first one. Between 3 and 6, how many minutes are there? 5, 10, 15. So we have 15 minutes between both the hands of the clock. Let's go to the next one. We have 5, 10, 15. Again, so we have 15 minutes and we've got a right angle. Let's count the minutes between the hands of this clock. It is 5, 10, 15. So yes, this is a right angle. So this is a clue for you to remember in case you get confused about what is the kind of angle and you're not sure whether it is a right angle or not. Count the number of minutes between the hands of the clock, and if it is 15 minutes, then this is a right angle. If it is more than 15 minutes, it will not be a right angle. If it is less than 15 minutes, it will not be a right angle. So 15 minutes will give you an angle which is a right angle. Okay? What about this one? Can you count the minutes? Let's count. So 5, 10, 15. So yes, we've got a right angle again. So all these instances are when the hands of the clock has made right angles. There are many more such instances, and I do hope that you will watch the face of the clock and see at what time you get right angles. Now let us look at some instances when the hands of the clock make acute angles. Now let's take the first case when the hour hand is at 1 and the minutes hand is at 3. Now if we look at this angle, this is an acute angle. Now if just by looking at the angle you cannot tell what kind of angle it is, count the number of minutes between the hands of the clock. So between 1 and 3, count the number of minutes. So we have 5 and 10. Now 10 minutes is less than 15 minutes. 15 minutes make a right angle on the clock face between the hands of the clock. And here we have less than 15 minutes, so this is an acute angle. What about this one? When the hour hand is at 4 and the minutes hand is at 6. Again, if you find it confusing, count the number of minutes between the hands of the clock. So we have 5 and 10 minutes. So this is an acute angle. And this case, when the hour hand is at 12 and the minutes hand is at 1. We have just 5 minutes between the hands of the clock, so this is an acute angle. Now if you are asked to state the time, then look at the hour hand, that is going to state the hour, and then look at the minutes hand. To count the number of minutes, we will begin with 12 and then stop at the minutes hand. So we have from 12 to 1, we have 5, 10, 15 minutes. So the time is 1:15. What about this one? The hour hand is at 4. So it is 4:30. How? You count from 12. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it is 4:30. Another yet very simple way of remembering this is in the beginning, I just told you all that the clock face is divided into 60 equal parts. So there are 60 minutes on the clock face. So from 12 to 6, we will have 30 minutes. And then from 6 to 12, we have another 30 minutes. So you can say it is 4:30. Okay, here it is 12 because the hour hand is at 12, and from 12 to 1 we have 5 minutes, so it is 12:05. Now let's look at the cases when the hands of the clock make an obtuse angle between them. So we have the hour hand at 2 and we have the minutes hand at 6. Now this is a rather big angle, so you can just by looking at it say that it is an obtuse angle. Another simple way of remembering it is, if the amount of minutes that are between the hands of the clock amount to more than 15 minutes, then it will definitely be an obtuse angle. So let's count the number of minutes starting between the hands of the clock, starting with the hour hand. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is more than 15, so it is an obtuse angle. What about this one? When the hour hand is at 11 and the minutes hand is at 3. So we start counting from the hour hand: 5, 10, 15, 20. So 20 minutes. So we've got ourselves an obtuse angle. And here's another one. We have the hour hand at 8 and we have the minutes hand at 12. Let's count the number of minutes: 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is an obtuse angle. Can you tell me what's the time here? Yes, it is 2:30. And here 11, 15 and 8 o'clock. Now look at these clock faces and you tell me the time as well as the kind of angle that is formed between the hands of the clock. First tell me, what is the time? Yes, that's correct. The time is 9 o'clock. How did you find 9 o'clock? Because you have the hour hand at 9 and you have the minutes hand at 12. So here we have the hour hand at 9 and we have the minutes hand at 12. So this is 9 o'clock. How do you say what kind of angle this is? In case you are confused, then you count the number of minutes. So this is 5, 10, 15 minutes. This is a right angle. What about this one? The hour hand is at 10 and the minutes hand is at 12. So the time is 10 o'clock. Absolutely correct. Now, what is the kind of angle that is formed between the hands of this clock? Are you counting the minutes? Yes. Then you know it is 5, 10 minutes. So this is an acute angle. What about this one? The hour hand is at 7 and the minutes hand is at 2. So the time is 7:10. So you count from 12 to get the minutes. You've got 7 and 10 minutes have passed after 7. So we have 7:10. Now what about the kind of angle that is formed between the hands of the clock? Count the number of minutes between the hands of the clock to get the kind of angle. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. So we have got ourselves an obtuse angle. And this one, what's the time? It is 6 o'clock. And here, what kind of angle is formed? It is a straight angle. It is 180 degrees. This is something for you to do. Identify the kind of angle formed by the hands of the clock, shown by each clock face. Also, read the time shown by the hands of these clocks. Another thing you can do is draw the hands of the clock to show the time stated. So here it is 12:15, so you can show the time on this clock face as well as the rest. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do like, subscribe and share. And there's another fun activity that you can do. Make a clock face on your own and have fun telling the time with your family and siblings. Thank you for watching.